Well, the race for the White House is over. A new president about ready to move in about 76 days. Will he deliver the changes he promised? Will he fix what's broken? Will the challenges prove so insurmountable they cannot be overcome? Up next, Gerald Celente joins us, expert in trends. Trendsresearch.com is his website. He's next on Coast to Coast AM. Gerald Celente, founder-director of the Trends Research Institute, today the number one trend analyst. Gerald accurately forecasted the dot-com meltdown, 1997 Asian currency crisis, the 1987 world stock market crash. He's been a regular now on Coast to Coast AM. The number one issue that kept popping up on polls that Americans were concerned about, the economy. Gerald Celente with us. Gerald, so here we are. Remarkable evening, huh?
Oh, yes, it certainly is, but not unexpected. We issued a trend alert on May 20th of this year, and we had said that if it was the economy come election day, it would be Obama. If it was war that was making the news, it would be McCain. And clearly it's the economy, and clearly it's Obama.
So here we go, and the economy clearly is the attempt that he's got to fix. Can anybody fix this right now, Gerald?
No. And the grand illusion is, what is he going to do differently than he said he would do before the election? And the only thing that they could keep coming up with, both the Democrats and the Republicans, is to print more money. They want a stimulus package? Great. Where are you going to get the money from? You want to rebuild the infrastructure? Sounds great. Where are you going to get the money from? And as we can see what's going on in the world markets, they're already anticipating that the United States will be printing up vast amounts of money, and now they're betting the dollar back down. Gold prices are moving back up, and the reality is facing everyone that around the world that the only solution that they're looking at is a let's print more money solution, and that's only going to make the bad problems much worse.
Gerald, let's talk about the economy for a moment before we get into what we think Barack Obama will do to solve this dilemma and what kind of people he might surround himself with. And I would assume Paulson's out when this changeover takes effect. But, here we are, well, let's see what happens tomorrow when the stock market opens up. My guess is that the Asian market, it should be open now. I don't know. Is it up? Do you know?
Yeah, the Asian markets are up, not dramatically the last time I looked, but they are up nonetheless. But they were down on the news yesterday when it was anticipated that he would win. So we're going to probably see a spike of some sorts, but it's only going to be short-lived. This is like your favorite sports team winning a big event, becoming the World Series champion or the basketball champion. It really doesn't affect you that much. It makes you feel terrific. And when you listen to his speech this evening, it's all about change and hope. As we had written, George, back in January when he won Iowa, we said Oprah won, Hillary nothing. Meaning that this was an Oprah production, a Harpo production. It's masterfully done. It's a lot about glitz and glamour. I mean, everything is staged to the nth degree. I've been on Oprah a couple of times, and I've been on all the major shows a number of times, many times on the news and on and on. There's nobody that runs a show like Oprah. She's the queen of TV, and there's a reason, that she is. She does it properly, and that's the way this campaign was run. And it's making people feel good. It's giving the hype. But what's going to be different? Where are these magic people that are all of a sudden they're talking in the news? People are going to go to Washington and go to work and really get us through this thing. You mentioned about Paulson not being there. Well, there'll be somebody else from Goldman Sachs that goes in there. He already has Robert Rubin running the show on his end. That's a former Goldman Sachs Clinton man. So there's nothing that they're going to do that they haven't talked about already.
Don't depress me, Gerald.
Oh, you see, I always get blamed for this. It's going to be great. He's going to fix it. He's going to fix it. Change. We can do it. I mean, it's a cheerleading game. And they talk about, I'm writing down notes as he's giving his speech tonight, and he's talking about the greatness of FDR and a New Deal. I mean, anybody that's a student of history knows that there was a New Deal that, did very little other than make people feel good.
Feel good. Right.
Yeah, because the only thing we all know that got us out of the Great Depression was the Great World War II. So they can dispense with all this BS, and let's get down to dollars and cents over here. And again, once again, what are they going to do differently that they said they were going to? That's different than what they said they were going to do before, and what they said they were going to do before is not going to work to increase retail sales. It's not going to work to stop, as we had forecast, the next big economic shoe to drop. And it was in today's news, and probably no one out there other than the people really interested saw it. And that was, George, that commercial real estate.
Yes, which is what you said on your website and this program months ago.
Was going to be the next shoe to drop. And in New York, which was the hottest real estate market left in the country, it was off 61%.
My gosh.
61%. What are they going to do to fix this? Give more money to these speculators that build all these buildings with no money down?
Well, is there a plan out here, Jerry, by anyone? Or are you saying we're doomed economically?
This is going to fail. The economic system in place is going to fail. What they're doing is what's their plan? Print more money. What's a stimulus plan? Print more money. What's a fix the infrastructure plan? Print more money. The only way we're saying that there can be an economic revival, it cannot happen from monetary or fiscal stimulus. It cannot be done under the conditions that exist. We need a wild card. So we go back to the 1990s. Those of us that remember and are knowledgeable, as your audience is and yourself, we know that it wasn't Bill Clinton that pulled miracles off and got the economy booming. It was the dot-com revolution. Plain and simple, period, paragraph. We need something like that. But the dot-com revolution had to do with productivity and communications. That was the revolution. We need something much greater than that that's really going to increase us in a much bigger way, and we're looking at an alternative energy. If something happens in that field,
okay,
then it's as big as the discovery of fire or the invention of the wheel, then we have something. But not wind, solar, geothermal, or biofuels, but something along the lines of zero-point energy, charged clusters, permanent magnets, hydrino power, and even possibly cold fusion. If we have something like that, then it's a new game. But they could BS all they want about this fiscal and monetary policy. It's the same old song. You're just having somebody new singing it with a much better voice, better steps, and better movements. It's a Harpo production.
I got to give you credit because you are the only economist / expert on the economy that even knows anything about zero-point energy and cold fusion. No one in your caliber has ever talked about that, other than the scientists I bring on this show who talk about it as an alternative energy source. How in the heck did you know that?
Well, thank you. The reason we know that is because that's what we do at the Trends Research Institute. We look at the world. We look at over 300 different trend categories.